Hello and welcome to Keep the Cup. It was going to be a make or break day for the Indian cricket team at the T20 World Cup. It could still be make or break, but the men in blue can breathe rather easily at the moment because things that were out of their control, the game versus South Africa, West Indies, that needed to go in India's favour, and that's exactly what's happened with South Africa registering a comfortable victory over the West Indies. How does that impact the Indian team? From here on, India only need to win their respective games. They don't need to be dependent on any other team. They don't need to look at the net run rate. Just focus on their games. And if India are to win their remaining two encounters, starting from today, they make it to the semi-final of the T20 World Cup. We'll be building up to one of those two games that I'm referring to with our two analysts in Sunil Gavaskar as well as another World Cup winner in Madan. And before we get to what the captains had to say on the eve of the game, I'll start with you, Saivai. Any changes you're expecting from this Indian team for that Zimbabwe encounter, considering India's batting has been misfiring?
I think the only change I would like to see perhaps is Akshar Patel coming back in the team. Whether he comes in place of Washington Sundar or Harshdeep Singh, that depends on the kind of surface there is. And the other change that I would like is in looking to play situations and not looking to play according to reputations. Just play the situation, not play according to your reputation.
Madan sir, to you, Mr. Gavaskar says if you want to make changes, that's not important. Play according to situation, not reputations. Many reputations are going to be online today. Would you want to make a few changes?
Yeah, definitely. I think, this sort of format, I will play Washington Sundar also and Akshar Patel also. Another thing, on top, you can play Sanju Samson instead of Tilak Verma. That should be the changes.
Okay, very interesting there from Madan Lal. He wants 3 changes in the Indian team. Play both the all-rounders that you have, spinning all-rounders, Washington Sundar alongside Akshar Patel, but he also wants Sanju Samson to come in place of Tilak Verma. Madan Lal as well as Sunil Gavaskar still with us. Saivai, this is an important game for India, because while South Africa has done India some sort of favor, but when they go into this encounter, they can go in breathing rather easily, that they don't have to think about the net run rate and things like that?
Well, I think they should be wary of their bowling and their fielding because there have been some outstanding, catches, like I said earlier. Their bowling steady. Their bowling is not the kind of bowling which will make you have sleepless nights. But at the same time, I think it's a very, very good bowling attack, made even sharper by the fielding that they have.
Mr. Gavaskar telling us that, don't take Zimbabwe lightly. India's got to focus on their bowling, and because India are going to be batting first, this is going to be some good advice. Madan sir, big game for India versus Zimbabwe. Can you afford to take a team lightly? I know on the face of it, it does look like a very strong team in India versus minnows, dare I call them, Zimbabwe. But this tournament, Zimbabwe have shown that they can be dangerous on a given day.
Definitely, it's a big day because they lost against South Africa, and because of their own fault, they played shots which should not be done that before. You have to read the situation. That is a very important part of it, and the selection of the shots are very, very important. That's the thing. That's where they have to see that, and they have to see that they can run the game. They just don't go out of the game. That is very, very important in 2020 cricket. Once you lose a couple of wickets, then I think it's very difficult to catch it.
The unfortunate bit for India, as I mentioned earlier in the program, they've been unlucky with tosses. Suryakumar Yadav losing yet another toss. I know the game is not decided at the toss, but we know there's a lot of dew in Chennai. But the good news is that there's some sort of special spray that is going to be used today to ensure there's not much of dew. Dew care, we believe, is that spray. Can you tell us a bit more about that? And will that allow India to breathe a bit easy despite having lost the toss today?
Well, I think yes, I think you need to have some of this thing to make sure that for the teams bowling in the second of a tournament, there is no disadvantage of a wet ball for fielding, for bowling, and therefore I think we will just have to wait and see how how this new care works. But I think if it works well, then it is something that should be used by all over the cricketing world and not just in India.
Okay, it's going to be an important day, not just for the Indian team, but for the future of cricket, because we've seen it in the past that dues have played spoil sport. They have, tended to push the game completely in favor of the team that's always batting second. If this new spray can even out the advantage of the team that is going to be batting second, then I think it's going to serve cricket per se very well going forward. Madan sir, I know that first you have to take a look at this Zimbabwe game. India need to win this, but they'll also have one eye on West Indies encounter. If they win this, where they are favourites to do that, West Indies will be a tough encounter. Can they pick up a few things? I know the Indian team was watching West Indies, South Africa earlier in the day. Anything that they can pick from that game that might serve them well for the West Indies encounter?
You see that West Indies always play the game the way they knows it, like they, even when they play in a test match, 50 over or 20 over, they hit the ball very hard. But, that's where I think spinner can play the lot of part, that's where they have to see it, that they put a lot of pressure on them and they're going to hit it. But if you put a pressure, when we went to the West Indies, they always used to say, put a pressure on the West Indian batsman, you'll get them out, they will hit it out. And learn from this match, see that like with South Africa, how they played, they got a 6 over, they got a big start and 80 odd runs they score, and they play the shots which is along the ground. That is also very, very important to see that most of our players are playing in the air. That's where they're getting out also. But you have to read the situation which matters.
Okay, Sunil Gavaskar, Madan Lal still with us. Sanjay, to you, before we sum up this particular program, about to start the game, Zimbabwe and India. India definitely are the favourites, but what is it that the Indian team need to be wary about when they take on Zimbabwe? Can you really take them lightly?
Well, I think we should not think about West Indies now. We should be thinking more about this game, because we mustn't think too far ahead. I think we should stay in the moment. And most importantly, because this Zimbabwe team has been a team which has been playing at a different level. They have been playing very, very good cricket. Their batting's been pretty solid. Their bowling has been helped by some wonderful catching. Some of the boundary catches that we've seen in the tournament, probably Zimbabwe's fielders probably end up with the top 2 or 3 catches in the tournament. So I think this game today is more important. Then we can think in terms of what to do against the West Indies. I don't think we should count our chickens. We should be very careful of Zimbabwe.
Okay, words of wisdom from Mr. Gavaskar. Focus on this encounter, win this first, and then look at that West Indies encounter. That's going to come your way this Sunday, and then we'll have Mr. Gavaskar, Madan Lal join us on the special broadcast. Unfortunately, that's all the time that we have on this broadcast. You are watching Keep the Cup, our special on the T20 World Cup.